Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today I'm back at Aston Martin for part 5 in my Road to GT8 video series, because today my Aston Martin Vantage GT8 is on the production line and I'm going to see the engine being installed, the process called the marriage. So I've already shown you my spec, my options, taken both the GT8s with a paddle shift gearbox and with the manual, mine has a manual by the way, 6-speed manual, out for drives, and today we're going inside to see it being built. And there it is, my first glimpse of my future GT8. I can just spot the orange side skirt, but let's come in closer, have a little look at it. The first sighting of the car, I guess, on the line. Obviously we saw it being painted, but this is it. This is the future Shmi-mobile up here. The cobalt blue now looking super, super shiny. We've got the carbon at the rear, on the rear bumper, the carbon side valance with that bright orange accent. And those colors look so, so good together. Blue and orange, sort of complementary opposing colors. We're gonna see the car going up the line here to engine marriage, just slightly further up, 1 or 2 stations beyond. I'm wearing obviously all the gear I need to be wearing to be this close to the car. This is crazy. It's been all the way up the line here where we've got sort of Rapides and Vanquish and the Zagatos and all the other Vantages, of course. To this point, this is utterly amazing. And here we have the Powertrain. So this is what makes it all run. The naturally aspirated 4.7 litre V8 engine is right there, already hooked up to the torque tube, the gearbox down there towards the back of the car. We'll get to that in a second. You've got some of the crash structure that's already been connected to it, the radiator around the front, that's all sort of painted because it was attached to the body when it was sprayed to make sure that all the colour obviously is seamless through the car. You've got the Brembo brakes with the orange calipers, huge front discs there. This is so unbelievably awesome to see the car up close like this. The gearbox and the titanium exhaust. Let me come around to the back, to the titanium exhaust. That is the monster. That is going to make all of the sound that is going to be simply beautiful. This is incredible to see the components like this ready to then be taken along into here as the next sort of station comes along towards us, ready for the marriage moment. The actual marriage of my car. Engine going into body, powertrain being pushed up into the body shell. This is so unbelievably awesome to be here. I'm going to be watching the marriage of my own car. The previous car, a very nice dark red Rapide S, is just moving out, which has made way for my car to arrive at the marriage station. Just pulling through now. There we go, come to a stop. Then the powertrain system is all going to be moved through. That's going to be pulled along here, and it goes up from underneath into the car. Round it goes. Up it goes. This is the moment body and powertrain become one. And it's in. This is utterly, utterly awesome. I have just watched, I guess, the power being born in my GT8 from right next to it. This is so cool. Now that the GT8 is born, marriage has happened, the guys go around making sure it's fully connected, everything from the sort of bottom half properly attached up into the top. This is so awesome to see firsthand. The frame that was underneath has been moved away and taken now for the next powertrain to be built up on top of it, no longer needed, because my car has its engine and gearbox and all of the underneath bits free holding in. Now just some final sort of touches before the car comes down, ready for the next stage. And already the next sort of powertrain setups here, ready and waiting. So that will pull in and come around for that dark grey car that we've got behind me. We're moving, so my car's coming round to the next stage. It's something like 40 minutes at each position, but this is where we can get a quick glance here at the engine, sitting proud back there, just behind the front axle. I'm going to have my first glance at the inside any second as the car comes around as well. But I'm loving the orange against the blue. It's slightly sort of confusing with all the yellow of the machinery around. So here comes the interior. Well, as much of the interior as you can see. We've got the wiring looms installed. See the seat controls there. The orange stitching starting to appear as well. That's so good, ties in perfectly. I don't know how much of that you can see on the camera. You just zoom it in a little bit. The orange stitch around the center console with the satin carbon fiber. This is unbelievably awesome. We've come to find my doors, and those are the only cobalt blue door panels on the door production line here, so those are certainly mine. You can see the speakers already installed, but the trim and sort of final finish is needed, so we'll come back to that in the next part when those are meeting back up with the car. Up here, waiting at their position in the line, we have my bumpers, the front and down below the rear, and the car is going to arrive at this station where these will be installed, but this is the first time I can see up close the cobalt blue paint, the glossy carbon fiber and the orange accents, to see the colours and how well they're going to work together when this car is completed. They're contrasting colours, but this is race inspired. This is exactly how I wanted it to look. And the carbon fiber weave in this, gosh, look at the reflections, perfect off that. Beautiful to see, nicely sort of orientated. The orange accent pack is painted under the lacquer, so there's no sort of line to feel or anything in that. And I'm also going to have the extended carbon fiber sort of splitter parts attached to the front end of it as well to go against the rear wing, the aero kit, the option that I have on this car. The full spec was in one of my earlier videos as part of the Road to GT8 series. So this is utterly brilliant. Then we've got the diffuser, the rear bumper and the diffuser. You can see where the exhaust tips are going to be, those massive holes. This is super aggressive, but again, the strip painted perfectly under the lacquer. This is just brilliant. This is amazing to see firsthand. The bumper's ready and waiting to go onto my car when it gets here on the line. Fast forward a little bit, the car has moved a few stations further along the line. I can spot a couple of immediate changes. The exhaust tips are there, but this is the thing that's happening now. The front bumper is going to be put into place. So and a few other things I was mentioning, some stuff's been done to do with the engine, of course. Just clips in like that. Brilliant, very easy. And it starts to look like the Vantage. That's awesome. That is so cool, seeing that in place. And that will obviously now be attached, fixed, secured in place, and the rear will go on as well. But just before I got distracted there, I was going to show you the exhaust tips, because those are probably where my camera is going to point many times in the future after this, at the sound it makes out of there. All coming together very, very nicely now. Time for the rear bumper. Shuffling forwards. It's time to get some eyes. The headlight comes in through from the back. Different bits of tape used to protect it and make it smooth. She can see. While there's a little break, this is an opportunity to come up close, even to go underneath the car and just have a look at it all, have a look at the insides. Of course, things like this in the wheel arch, there'll be the liner that goes in, but everything super clean, nice and tidy. Well, the nicest it will ever be, because the car's going to get driven out on the road. I can touch things just because, just seeing it all here. So you've got the exhaust system that runs the sort of full length, obviously down the middle there, splits out towards the back where you've got the carbon fiber diffuser. Just looks glorious. Honestly, the weave is so cool all the way underneath the back here, with a hole for the back box in the center, and then those gigantic exhaust tips home to an awful lot of noise. You can see the reversing camera up there just above the number plate placement. It's brilliant seeing it like this, seeing how everything happens and comes together. And then we'll be coming back, of course, for the trim and the interior and those sort of parts. Then round the front, obviously, under the carbon, I like that sort of canard shape there as well. You've got these mount points where the splitter extender that my car will have that comes out around the front more as part of the aero kit will go on. So we'll be coming back to it and seeing all of those afterwards, as well as the grille and the wing and everything else too. I'm going to leave my car now. It's been amazing seeing it get this far, but what we're going to do is go on a bit of a scavenger hunt and find some of the other components, and I've kind of done my research already, obviously, to see what I can find. First up here, we have the grille. So everything arrives sort of line side just in time for installation. So that's just arrived here. The carbon fiber with the orange sort of inserts. We'll see more of that in due course. Then if I whiz out through here, we get to the wheels, which go onto the car when it touches down onto the ground, well, just before. So here we have my choice of the satin painted 7-spoke, but no center locking wheels. Now the reason I didn't do the center locks on the car is because it gets a little bit difficult if you have any issues when you're on the road. So we found those. The wing is going to go on shortly after, but that hasn't arrived here yet. That will be here in no time at all. A carbon fiber wing, and then it gets orange end plates afterwards. And then we continue down and we'll go find some of the other interior parts. Continuing tracking down parts, we found my seats. So we've got the carbon backed bucket seat. The thing that's amazing me with this is all the different bits of material. So the memory foam, the different bits of foam, the lumbar support piece that then goes in the seat. But this will of course be done with black Alcantara. So we'll catch up with that in the next piece. I'm back in the atrium and I'm going to call it a day on filming for today. We're going to come back and join the car when it's a little bit further down the line, and I think we'll be hearing it start up for the very first time. But what an awesome opportunity to see behind the scenes and see the car being built and share it with you guys. So a big thanks to Aston for this. It's truly, truly special, and I hope you're enjoying the Road to GT8 series. But that's it for today. Make sure you're subscribed and come back to watch part 6 when that's ready, seeing the car on its own wheels and hearing it fire up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.